Have you ever wondered how ancient tribes formed their unique identities and social structures? Today, we explore the intriguing tale of the Angh clan, whose origins are shrouded in mystery and steeped in legend. The Angh clan, known for their distinct social practices and cultural depth, offer a fascinating glimpse into the ways ancient communities shaped their identities. The origins of the Angh clan are enveloped in myths and beliefs that highlight their long and arduous journey in search of a homeland. This quest is not just a story of survival, but a narrative that intertwines with the spiritual and the supernatural, reflecting the complex relationship between humans and their environments. Understanding these origin stories is crucial as they provide insights into the social fabric and cultural ethos of the Angh clan. These tales are not merely historical recounts, but are foundational to the identity and continuity of the clan within the broader spectrum of cultural and social anthropology. Let us delve into the first of three beliefs about the origins of the Angh clan. Imagine wandering through vast lands searching for water, the source of life. This was the reality for the early ancestors of the Angh clan, a nomadic people driven by the basic need for survival in a harsh and unforgiving landscape. Their journey was not just a quest for a place to call home, but a struggle against the very limits of human endurance. As they roamed, the scarcity of water became a critical challenge. Day after day, the relentless sun beat down on them, the dry earth offering no respite. The desperation grew so intense that some members of the group resorted to unimaginable acts. In a grim testament to their plight, these individuals began to suck their own blood, a macabre attempt to quench their unbearable thirst. However, not everyone succumbed to such desperate measures. A portion of the group, guided by a stronger hope, turned their eyes to the heavens. They offered sacrifices to Konyak, the deity they revered, pleading for deliverance from their dire circumstances. Their faith, it seemed, was not misplaced. In a miraculous response, Konyak blessed them with a divine intervention. A stream of fresh, clear water burst forth from the ground as if the earth itself was answering their prayers. The water was not just a drink, it was salvation. The entire group, save for those who had partaken in the grim act of blood drinking, rushed to the stream. They drank deeply, their spirits and bodies revitalized by the pure, life-giving water. With their most immediate need met, the group made the decision to settle by this blessed stream. The land around was fertile, promising a future they could hardly have imagined during their darkest days. Yet the division wrought by their earlier actions lingered. Those who had refrained from blood drinking deemed themselves purer and formed the nucleus of what would become the Angh clan. They distanced themselves from the others, considering them unclean, and this distinction sowed the seeds of a lasting social hierarchy. This dramatic tale of survival and divine blessing marks the first foundational belief of the Angh clan's origin. In times of despair, a single act of generosity can transform the fate of an entire community. Picture a village grappling with the harsh clutches of drought and famine. Fields once lush and verdant lay barren, the earth cracked and dry. Amidst this desolation, there was one man, a figure of benevolence and wisdom whose fields inexplicably burgeoned with life. His crops, contrary to the parched lands of his neighbors, thrived, an oasis of green in a desert of hopelessness. This man, known for his kindness, stood as a beacon of hope. As the village teetered on the brink of starvation, he saw beyond the immediacy of his prosperity. With a heart as fertile as his lands, he decided to share his bounty. "Fear not," he told his fellow villagers, "for you shall all partake in the harvest of my fields." True to his word, he distributed his crops generously, ensuring no one in the village went hungry. This act of sharing was not merely about alleviating hunger, it was a profound gesture of unity and compassion that resonated deeply within the community. The villagers, moved by his selflessness, began to revere him not just as a neighbor, but as a pillar of human virtue. As the seasons changed, the memory of the famine lingered, but so did the gratitude towards the generous man. His legacy was celebrated annually, with the village paying tribute to him. This reverence was not confined to his lifetime alone, but was extended to his descendants, who were honored as embodiments of his spirit. They were called Angh, a title that came to signify leadership and responsibility. This story of generosity not only shaped the clan's social structure, but also embedded a deep respect for communal support within the Angh. In the tapestry of their history, the threads of generosity and leadership woven by one man's actions created a vibrant pattern of communal respect and collective survival. Sometimes extraordinary abilities can lead to extraordinary responsibilities. In the nomadic tapestry of the Angh clan, there emerged a man whose abilities seemed to transcend the ordinary limits of nature. His fields flourished where others withered. His nets and traps were always brimming with the day's catch. This man, with his uncanny knack for agriculture and hunting, became a beacon of success and curiosity among his people. As the seasons passed, the community, struck by his consistent prosperity, sought his wisdom. They wondered how one among them could yield such bountiful harvests and return from the woods with the heaviest game. Their inquiries were met with a humble yet intriguing proposal from the gifted man. He suggested that certain tributes and services be offered to him, not as a demand, but as a pathway to share in his extraordinary gifts. The requests were specific: the first basket of crops harvested each season, the leg portion of any animal hunted, the head of any animal felled by their arrows, and communal help in the construction of his house. These acts, he assured, would bring similar fortune to others as they had brought to him. Year after year, the people adhered to these practices. They brought their tributes to him, assisting in his endeavors, celebrating his successes as their own. This cycle of giving not only enriched their sense of community, but also elevated the man's status among them. His home became a place of gathering, his words a ledger of wisdom. As his influence grew, so did his sense of responsibility and authority. It was not long before he was regarded not merely as a fortunate individual, but as a leader, a king by the virtue of his exceptional contributions and the reverence he commanded. He declared himself Angh, a title that resonated with power and respect, unchallenged and sovereign. This belief illustrates how individual talents can influence social hierarchies and leadership roles within a community. 3 beliefs, each weaving a unique tapestry of culture and leadership. The first belief plunges us into a tale of survival and supernatural intervention. The Angh clan, initially nomads, roamed endlessly, facing the harshness of unquenchable thirst. In their desperation, some resorted to drinking their own blood, while others sought divine help. It was this latter group, blessed with a miraculous stream of water, who settled and formed the nucleus of what would become the Angh clan. The division between those who drank blood and those who abstained marked the early social stratification within the clan, a divide that persists in their customs to this day. Moving to the second belief, we encounter a figure of benevolence during a time of famine. This man, whose fields remained fertile while others lay barren, shared his bounty without hesitation. His generosity not only ensured the survival of his village, but also elevated his status and that of his descendants, revered as the Angh. This origin story underscores the profound impact of altruism and leadership in times of crisis, traits highly valued in the clan's cultural ethos. The third narrative introduces us to a man of extraordinary talents, whose superior skills in agriculture and hunting made him a central figure in his community. His conditions for sharing his secrets of prosperity, tributes and communal labor laid the foundations of a structured societal hierarchy, transforming him from a gifted individual to a sovereign leader, an Angh. Each of these stories, whether highlighting divine intervention, communal generosity, or individual excellence, illustrates different facets of leadership and morality that have shaped the Angh clan. These narratives not only explain the origins of certain social practices and hierarchies, but also reflect the broader dynamics of power, respect, and survival strategies in human communities. The origins of the Angh clan are as diverse as they are fascinating, providing deep insights into the interplay between environment, personality, and divine belief in shaping human societies. Every clan, every tribe has a story woven into the fabric of time, enriching our understanding of human resilience, belief, and social evolution. The Angh clan, with its diverse origin tales, serves as a profound example of how narratives shape identities and societal structures. These stories, whether they speak of survival through divine benevolence, the elevation of a generous man to a revered leader, or the acknowledgement of extraordinary abilities that forge monarchies, all highlight a universal truth. Communities revolve around shared histories and the venerable figures that emerge within them. By preserving and delving into such tales, we do more than just remember. We breathe life into the chapters of human endeavor, ensuring that the wisdom, trials, and triumphs of our ancestors continue to inspire and guide future generations. Let these narratives encourage you to explore and cherish the stories that lie at the heart of your own cultural and familial heritage. As we uncover the layers of the past, we gain not only knowledge, but also a deeper appreciation for the complexities of human history.